Well, the first thing I want to mention is a PSG have announced their new manager, which is what's his name? Gaultier?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was oh damn it, I should be more prepared than this. He was the manager of, I want to say, Nice or something like that.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. And so this is interesting because a while ago I incorrectly talked about Zidane being the manager of PSG because it seemed like that was a done deal, but then it just never happened. Because it was almost like they fired Pochettino thinking they were going to get Zidane, but then Zidane was like, nah. So then they had no manager until now they have Gaultier.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll figure out in the near future that we're pronouncing that entirely wrong. But yeah,
sure.
I don't think Zidane's gone anywhere just yet, has he?
No. He has not picked up another job since Real Madrid, which is quite random. You think someone with that amount of success, would just be straight into another job, but
maybe he just doesn't want to.
Okay, no, sorry, I was mistaken. He was the manager of Lille, which makes sense because they won the league over PSG in that other season, like the Lille
previous season.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. But so on that note, what have you heard about the rumors about Neymar?
I have not heard them at all.
Well, the main thought is that just Neymar may be out. Neymar might be leaving PSG. They've sort of
blacklisted.
Yeah, well, he seems to have fallen out with the club because the club seems to believe that they have an issue with like divas and and apparently there's some weird thing about Mbappe's new contract where he has a like a semi club management role, like he has he has a say, and
he's his own manager,
and so they think that maybe Neymar's a little bit too much of a diva and just kind of isn't worth the trouble. So they've sort of said that so he may leave, but it kind of seems like no one is really available to take him at the moment.
Well, yeah, that kind of strikes me, right? Because to take Neymar, I don't know what his situation is with his contract, but you'd probably think, I know is he 30?
He's 30, yeah.
So like 80 to 100 mil?
Oh, he gets paid an obscene amount of money. It's like 40 million per season or something.
Yeah.
And basically, I think Neymar's manager is Neymar Senior, his father.
Yeah, it's his dad. Yeah.
And basically, he just told PSG that if Neymar will leave, sure, that's fine, but you have to pay every dollar that is owed to him in this contract, which is about 200 mil, because he's signed till 2027.
Right. So his contract is another 4 and a bit years or whatever.
Yeah. So pretty wild. The only place that was kind of interested were Chelsea. They probably the only ones that can actually afford him, and I don't think that's going to happen because, and that's good. There's a great segue into the next topic, is because Chelsea have now announced their first signing, Raheem Sterling.
That's official?
Yes. I've seen him in kit.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, good move. I mean, actually, I was going to say, it's really weird these days because, when we used to watch, back in the day when we started getting into football, it was basically, once you see them in the kit, the deal's done, right? But now they take photos of them in the kit before the official announcement. So it's, they're aware now that seeing them in the kit is an indicator of the deal being done, but then they do it as soon as they've agreed personal terms. Like, they're not even fully signed, but you still see them in the kit. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like, it's nearly there, and they'll just go, yeah, he's in.
Yeah, and so from what I say, he definitely is. He's in, and so that's interesting. We've had Sterling go to Chelsea. He's played with Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea. They're literally like top 3 teams. and then the other one on that regard is Man City have also sold Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal.
Signing for Arsenal.
Sorry?
Good signing, I think.
Interesting signing. Because from what I understand, he is going to play number 9. He's going to be an out-and-out 9 for Arsenal.
Yeah, he's wearing the number 9.
Which, yes. And so from what I understand, Arsenal actually have quite the curse with their number 9 shirt.
Do you not think... I mean, I know you're not a superstitious person. I know that that's not like what you're saying. But do you not think that they've just had a run of sort of shit? Or like is that form of because he's the one occupying the number 9 over the last 5 years. He's been far from terrible. He hasn't been like blistering. He hasn't been brilliant. He hasn't been like great. But he's been okay. He's been at the very least like good for
serviceable.
What Arsenal have achieved.
Well, I would say that Arsenal had been on a bit of a slump over the last while. They weren't sort of only just competing for Champions League, They were the joke was that Arsenal are the 4th place team, right? That was
yes.
And that sort of changed a bit now.
Until Wenger stopped.
Yeah. So it's but when Lacazette did sign, he was very promising. Everyone thought that he would develop into a really well-rounded striker, but I suppose it didn't quite live up to that, I guess. But well, I do like the attitude of Gabriel Jesus coming in and saying, like, I'm going to break this curse. Just shows good confidence. I like that.
For sure. I think Jesus has basically suffered from the last... Like, his stats aren't terrible, but he's basically suffered in the last 4 years by not being Sergio Aguero.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pep sort of, the way he saw Gabriel Jesus was like, this is my son, almost. And because he thought he was going to be the next Aguero, but then there's one issue with City is that they rotate the squad a tremendous amount. And
yes,
a player like Gabriel Jesus, maybe he needs to play every game, every minute of every game.
I think this season will be the making of Gabriel Jesus. I'll whatever you want, not whatever you want, but 20 goals plus.
Could be, yeah.
I want to see what the odds are that he'll outscore Haaland.
Interesting, yeah. Well,
because I'd take it. I would right now. I would take it.
He has more Premier League experience, and it always does take a minute for players to adapt from the Bundesliga. But I mean, if anyone can, it's going to be Haaland. So
it's going to be the beast.
And also consider how long that Haaland has had to train with the squad. Like, this deal was done last season, basically. So he's had the entire break to train with Man City. So. Yeah. I suppose on that, another one, well, I got a little bit on Ajax here too. So that's basically that. So Spurs have sold a Bergwijn to Ajax. Yeah, it was 30 mil to Ajax for Bergwijn.
Quite good.
And which I'm hoping that's promising. That might mean that we're going to sign Anthony in the next few days or something like that. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, okay.
But the main thing I want to talk about is that they have sold Haller. So, before Haller played for West Ham and completely flopped, basically. But I think that he was West Ham's record signing as well, too, if that's right. And then, so he completely flopped and then moved to Ajax and basically was like rejuvenated. And I think he was only there for like 1.5 seasons or something like that. Not even that long.
Yeah.
And
something like that.
Played amazing under Ten Hag and all that stuff. Just got everything out of him. And now he is signed for Dortmund for Dortmund's record fee.
What the hell?
But that's crazy when you think about it, that Dortmund's record fee, player transfer fee, is only 35 million.
Yeah, it just seems to me that like the fees in Germany just generally are less.
There's a Premier League tax, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
100%. And so they paid 35 mil for Haaland, and Haller has matched that. So they're both joint record. So that's pretty wild. And considering, well, maybe Dortmund will now turn Haller into, you know, if Dortmund are able to take Haller to his top level, they could double that profit. I wonder what their record sale is, because their record sale would be Ousmane Dembele.
Ousmane Dembele.
It was like 140 mil.
It's like 100 and it was like 112 or something like that.
Yeah. Either way, a ridiculous amount of money.
Three figures of millions.
Yeah, so Dortmund, man, their profit must be insane. And well, yeah, and since we brought that up, that's another good segue, is that I know you mentioned the video I did on Ousmane Dembele, because he is now a free agent after he let his contract expire from Barcelona. And
yes, a free brain cell.
Yes, and it kind of seems like, well, yeah, I'm curious to know what you think about this, because obviously my video was very critical. I was like, no one's really interested in Dembele because he's just a nutcase, and he wants double the wage Barcelona have offered him. But it seems like he thinks that people would be crying out for him, but it doesn't seem like he's had a single offer from anywhere except for Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. And I don't imagine Chelsea will, be wanting him.
Well, not after they've just signed Raheem Sterling.
Well, haven't they also signed Rafinha?
No, it's not done, and it looks like Barcelona. He's going to go to either Barcelona or Chelsea.
How are Barcelona signing players?
Well, they're not. That's the thing. But if Barcelona, what's happening is Barcelona are holding out on players like Frenkie de Jong and stuff, trying to get this insane transfer fee, so then they can buy more players. So even though they sold 50% of their advertising rights and all that stuff, it's 25%, I think. If they want to make any signings, they still have to bring in a ton of money. And they want to sign Lewandolski, Rafinha. They've just announced the free signings of Kessie and Christiansen, but of course free signings are not free, and they oftentimes the signing bonus is 5 times what it would normally be, and the agent fee's large and wages are higher than normal.
You're basically paying a transfer fee anyway.
Yeah, so they're far from out of the red, I would say. So that's why they're still holding out for ridiculous amounts of money. And
certainly in the brown.
So Man City have signed Kalvin Phillips now. That deal is confirmed. And
good one, I think.
Yep, decent English player. I don't know how much he's going to play. When you consider, it's like Rodri. I mean, yeah, Rodri is the other player in his position, and
my understanding is that I know Gundogan is sort of like playing a bit further forward, but he's being linked away, and Bernardo Silva's also being linked away. But that kind of always happens. And in the end, all these players will just stay, and Pep will find a way to make it work, and we'll praise him at the end of the season and say, why did we ever doubt you?
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I bring this up because Leeds have now signed his replacement, and that's this guy Tyler Adams, who was he's an American midfielder that played for Leipzig.
Yes.
And I've signed him on FIFA before and things like that, and as always, and he turned out to be quite a good player too, good defensive midfield kind of player. I think he also played right back and stuff like that too. So seems like a good move too. Leeds obviously going to be desperately trying to stay up this year after selling their 2 best players basically. So okay. The last thing I just have here is that you went full Nostradamus about a month ago, and you talked about Origi signing for Milan, because after you said that, you were like, it's done. I was like, what did we talk about? I looked it up and I could not find it for the life of me anywhere. But you were 100% right, because the deal has just gone through. I only just saw him in a kit like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I couldn't honestly tell you where I read it, but I didn't predict it. I didn't make it up.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, sometimes you just find a good source, and they're just bang on. So yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tomato sauce.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, honestly, I couldn't tell you how I made that happen before the press told you, but I certainly didn't. I certainly didn't invent it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sometimes it just takes a while for the club to officially announce that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I assume they were waiting for the 1st of July before the transfer window opened.
Yeah, sometimes it's just stuff like that.